Yeah, today we are going to see data sufficiency. So, as far as data sufficiency is concerned, you should know almost all the type of problems. So, data sufficiency is there for all types of problems, be it time and work, time and distance, or anything, right? So, in most of the competitive exams, we will get at least 3 or 4 data sufficiency problems, right? So, these are all some of the things we need to remember. Don't assume anything. So, we have to take the decisions only purely based on the given data. Whatever data is given, based on that, the decisions have to be made, not on your own assumption. Please don't assume. So, normally the question will be like that. So, little bit confusing. We may able to assume something and we may get into trap. Okay, so don't assume anything. The given data is very important. Please don't go beyond the given data, and consistent answer should be there. So you have to firm on this answer. So you should have to come to a clear conclusion that this is the answer, and you have to follow a process, right? Should know, that is, whatever process is available for each and every type of problem. So that kind of process, I will tell you what kind of process we have to go through, right? So please follow the process. Then should know something about everything, that is all the topics, right? Let us see the first problem. What is the distance from city A to city C in kilometers? Distance from city A to B is 60 kilometers. Distance from city B to C is 30 kilometers. So the options given are: statement 1 alone is sufficient, statement 2 alone is sufficient, either 1 or 2 is sufficient to answer, both 1 and 2 are required to answer, no conclusion even they are combined. So this is a problem given. I'll just give you a while. Please think of. Just think of. Yes. I hope you are trying. Okay. Both are necessary, sir. Is it? Okay. People may think like that. Nothing wrong in it. So look like D is the answer, but sorry, my dear friend, this is the answer. How is it? So that is what I've told. Don't assume anything. I am checking with 3 cities. This is city A, city B, city C. This is your assumption, right? So the distance between city A to B is 60 and B to C is 30. So what is A to C? It is 90. We can say it as 90. Okay. Yes, Kirtana. Okay. Who knows that A is here and B is here? C can be located here also. In that case, this is 60 and this is 30. So the remaining is 30. We may get 30 kilometers. And who knows, A, B, C will be like this. This is A, this is B, this is C. So we cannot come to a conclusion with the available data. Even both the statements are available, we cannot come to a conclusion. So E is going to be the answer. Fine. Next problem. Yes, it's getting loaded. Yeah. what is the distance between city P to Q? Now, three statements are given. Two persons A and B started simultaneously from P to Q with their speeds in the ratio 4:5. This is the first statement. Second statement is B reached P 1 hour earlier than A to Q. And third statement is the difference between speeds of A and B is 20. Now the options are 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 2 only, that is, I think it is 1 and 3, there is a mistake, 1 and 3 only, all 1, 2 and 3, any two statements, data inadequate. So any number of options they may give. I have given all possible options. That is why I have gone to 6 options. So in order to practice, I thought of giving all kind of options. Okay. Okay. So what is the distance between C to P to Q? Yes. Please think and work out. I'm waiting. Yes. Okay. So there is a procedure to solve what I have told in the first slide, right? So let me take the three statements and we have to write the equation, or the three statements have to be modeled. So after that we have to come to the conclusion. So as far as the first statement is given, two persons A and B started simultaneously from P to Q. So if this is city P and this is city Q, right? So this is P and this is Q. What is given in the first statement? Two persons A and B started simultaneously. Both are starting from P to Q. Simultaneously means at the same time. At the same time they are starting from A to that is P to Q, right? A is guy 1, second guy is B. Okay, what is the ratio of their speeds? Is given as 4:5. So can I write like this? SA by SB is equal to 4/5. Am I right? Can we write like this? So SA by SB is 4/5. And as far as the second statement is concerned, B reached 1 hour earlier than A. B reached 1 hour earlier than A. So I am not taking this P and Q. That is leaving this so that it is easy. B reached 1 hour earlier than A. So if the time taken to cover the distance by A is time in T hours, then what will be TB? Time taken by the guy B to reach Q is, B reached 1 hour earlier, so it will take T minus 1 hours. Okay, so if TA is T, TB is T minus 1. Then coming to the third statement, difference between the speeds of A and B is 20. So SB minus SA or SA minus SB, anything you can write, right? SB minus SA is equal to 20. Okay, so these are the three statements. Now let us check 1 and 2 only, or 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, all 1, 2, 3 together. So all these options, any one option we have to land up. Okay, okay, fine. Now first option alone I am taking, or first and second I am taking. First and second, for the first option I am taking. First statement and second statement. If first statement is SA by SB, and what we can say that is this distance is same for both A and B. So both A and B are traveling the same distance. So it is a same distance problem. So we can write distance A equal to distance B. That is, distance A is, what is the formula for distance? Speed into time. So speed into time. Okay, which can be equated to SB TB. Okay, so what shall we do with these two? With these two, what can be done? So SA can be written as sometimes, so SB into 4 by 5, 4 by 5 SB. So SB gets cancelled. Okay, 4 by 5. So here this is T minus 1. So finally we cannot find out T also. So we need this, correct? Either distance A or distance B. So with 1 and 2 it is not possible. So this option is ruled out. We cannot have this. Next, since this is ruled out, this is also ruled out. Am I right? Any two statements. So this is two statements. So A is not possible, same way E is not possible, and D is also not possible. Okay, sorry, we cannot come to a conclusion like this. Next, second and third only. So let us check with these two. SB is equal to SA plus 20. Okay, so SA plus 20, here you can write it as SA plus 20, or SA can be written as SB minus 20. No, not possible. So this is also ruled out. 1 and 3, there is no T term is available. Time is not at all available. So this is also not correct. Let us check with all the three. With all the three. So SATA is equal to SBTB. So instead of this, instead of SA, I am writing it as, or instead of SB, what I write is SA into, what is TA? I am combining all. TA is T, which is equal to, what is this? SB, instead of SB, what I can write is SA plus 20, or let me do like this. Yeah, that's fine, I think. SA into T is equal to, from this I am writing SA. Why means it is coming in arithmetic, so we cannot use this. So coming to this, SB can be written as 5 SA by T. Sorry, 5 SA by 4. 5 by 4 SA into T minus 1. Okay. So from this, SA gets cancelled. So 4T is equal to 5T minus 5. Am I right? 4T is equal to 5T minus 5. So what is T? 5T minus 4T is 5. So T is equal to 5. We can come to a conclusion. Okay, T we have got. Now what is the distance? For distance we need SA into TA, correct? We need SA into TA. So how to find out this? What can be done? So T we have got it as 5, and SB we have got SA plus 20. So substitute this in this equation. So what will we get? S SB is equal to SA plus 20. So SA divided by SA plus 20. SA plus 20 equal to 4 by 5. Okay. So from this we will get SA. Correct? From this we can get, that is 5 SA is equal to 4 SA plus 80. So SA is equal to 80. So you have got SA, the distance is equal to SA into T. Okay. So SA is 80 and T is 5. So we will get the answer. So what is the final option? Finally we have concluded that the answer is all 1, 2 and 3 are required to find out this. Clear? You need not to work out this. If you imagine and check whether which is possible, which is not possible. Is that clear? Is that clear? I will explain you again. First statement says that SA by SBB is equal to 4 by 5. Second statement says that TA equal to T, TB equal to T minus 1. And third statement says that SB minus SA equal to 20. So by solving these two, I am not working out anything. By solving these two, that is 1 and 2, what will happen? SB in terms of SA we will get, T separately you are having. So we can neglect or we can cancel the speed, but time component is there. We will get the distance in terms of time only. We cannot find out the final answer. When I am combining 2 and 3, yes, SB is SA plus 20 and here T is there. So we cannot come to a conclusion. So we are combining all the three. Then substituting this here. Substituting the third equation in the first equation, we will get SA and SB, and that we are substituting here. That is, distance is equal to speed into time. Same distance problem. Then we will have T at both sides. Then we can get a value of T. So if SA, SB, T are available, then distance can be easily found out. So only during practice, based on more number of problems, we can finalize this, right? Next problem. I hope it is clear. Shall I move on? Next problem is this. I'll just give you some more time to read this. What is the rate of interest on a certain sum? The interest earned on the sum at the same rate of simple interest after 3 years is 4,500. If the rate of interest is 2.5% more, the simple interest earned will be 900 more. The amount received on the sum at the end of 2 years at simple interest is 15,000. Now, what are all the options available are 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, that is 2 and 3 only, 1 and 2 or 1 and 3 or 1, 2 and 3 only, all 1, 2 and 3 together are required, and E is any two statements, F is data inadequate. So just think of yes, at least share me what can be done. The first step, equations for the first, second, third statements. Write down the equation first. Equation or input, whatever it may be. You should model it. You should write mathematically the three statements. then we will come to a conclusion. Yes? I'm just giving you to write down the equation and I'm waiting in the public chat box. Okay. All right. The first statement from the first, what is required actually? R is required. PNR by 100 is the formula for simple interest. Everybody knows that the formula for simple interest is PNR by 100. So in which R is required. P, nothing is given. P is not given. Right? Only R is required. That is the question. The interest earned on the sum, on this sum, at the same rate of interest after 3 years. So what is given here? N is equal to 3. If N is equal to 3, then simple interest is 4,500. Correct? That is the input given. So with this, can we do it? And the options are not there. One only, all those options are not there. So we will not check only one statement. We'll go to the second statement also. If the rate of interest is 2.5% more, second equation, let me come here. The simple interest earned will be 900 more. Will be 900 more. So we have to write this as a separate statement. It should not be combined with the first statement when you are doing your modeling. Okay. So if the rate of interest is 2.5% more, the simple interest earned will be 900 more. So if the rate of interest is R, then we will get some simple interest. If the rate of interest is R plus 2.5, then this simple interest plus 900 is the simple interest, totally simple interest. It is right? That is what it is given. Now, so what will be the simple interest during R is the rate of interest? PNR by 100. Okay. If it is R plus 2.5, what is the simple interest? PN R plus 2.5 by 100. Am I right? So this is the simple interest when the rate of interest is R plus 2.5 by 100. Okay. Minus this simple interest PNR by 100. PNR by 100 is equal to what? Is equal to 900. Okay. So what can be done with this? This PNR by 100, this PNR by 100 will get cancelled, right? So this leads to 2.5 P into N equal to 900 into 100. Am I right? 900 into 100. So this is the second equation. Okay. And from this what we can write? 3PR by 100 is equal to 4,500. So PR is equal to 3PR is equal to 4,500. That is 3PNR by 100. So 3PR by 100 is equal to 4,500. So PR is equal to 1,500 into 100. Am I right? Can I write like this? Okay. So first equation we have made, second equation we have made. What is the third equation? Amount received on the sum at the end of 2 years is 15,000. So what is the third equation given? the total amount is equal to 15,000. So amount after 2 years is equal to 15,000. So this is what it is given here. Okay, so with this 3 equation, shall we do it with 1 and 2? If I am combining these two, what will happen? That is, in this equation I am writing it as n is equal to 3 years. When I am combining first and second, n is equal to 3 years. If this is 3, p is equal to 900 into 100 divided by 7.5. So p you can get it. Once p we have got, r you can find out. Yes, 1 and 2 is possible. Straight away you should not check and give the answer, that is select the answer as 1 and 2 only. We have to check whether 2 and 3 is possible. Other options also we have to check. So when I am combining these two, 2 and 3, so what is the number of years here? 2. When I am substituting 2 here, then we will get the principal amount. So once the principal amount is got, yes, if I know the principal, then substitute it here. Substitute it is here. Okay, so p plus PNR by 100 is equal to 15,000. So we got p here, n is given as 2, only variable is r. So 2 and 3 is also possible. Oh, then you should not take these two. Okay, we will check others also. 1 and 2, 1 and 3. We are checking with 1 and 3 also. 1 and 2, 1, 2 and 3 is there, and 2 and 3 is not there here. So we may drop this. And we are checking with this. This is also not required. Why means with 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 itself we have got it. So all the 3 are not required. Now let us check this option. Any two statements together. Whether we are going for that? Let us check. So for that we have to check. Already 1 and 2 we have checked. 2 and 3 we have checked. Only 1 and 3 we have to check. If 1 and 3 is also satisfying, then we can go for this. This is also not there. Data inadequate. We have already solved the problem. Okay, only option is E. Okay, right. Now, what is this? Any two statement. That is 1 and 3 we have to check. We are checking with these two. PR is equal to 15, that is 1500 into 100. That is 1. And here 2 years it is 15,000. So let me check. For 3 years the simple interest is 4,500. Then per year it is 1,500. If it is 2 years, then what is it? 3,000 is the simple interest. So when you deduce the simple interest from the amount, what is the remaining? So principal is 15,000 minus 3,000, you will get 12,000. So the principal we have got. Once we have got principal, we can substitute it here. So 12,000 into R is equal to 1,500 into 100. So we can get the rate of interest. So rate of interest, what will you get in the problem is 12.5%. You can work out, but I don't think it is required. Whether we can able to solve it or not, that is all we are going to do, right? So finally E is the option. Any two statements together, we will get the final answer. Is it fine? Got it? Clear? Or you want me to explain it again? Please respond. Yes? Okay. Moving on to the next problem. Yeah, what is the area of the rectangle? the ratio of length to breadth of the rectangle is 35 is to 12. The perimeter of the rectangle is 188 centimeter. The length of the diagonal of the rectangle is 74 centimeter. So how can we find the area of triangle? For that, what are all required? Either 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, any two of the three, and 1 and 2 and 1 and 3. So all kind of combinations are given. Just think a while. Yes. Okay. First statement, what we can write? Ratio of length to breadth is, that is L by B. L by B is 35 by 12. So this is given. This is the equation for the first statement. Second statement, perimeter of the rectangle is 188. So what is perimeter? 2 into L plus B. That is the summation of all the sides. So 2 into L plus B is 188. Right? Third statement is length of the diagonal. So this is your rectangle. This is our diagonal. What is this? Square root of L square plus B square. Correct? L square plus B square. Square root of L square plus B square is equal to 74. So these three statements are there. Now let us check the first option, 1 and 2 only. 1 and 2. L by B is equal to 35 by 12. So from this, what we can write? What we can write? L can be written as, sorry, this color is not suitable. L can be written as 35 by 12 into B. Okay. If I am substituting it in the second equation, so we will have 35 by 12b plus b. So we will get 35 plus 12, it is 47b by 12. So 45b by 6 is equal to 188. So we can get something as b here from this. From this we can find out b. Okay. Once b is known, L can be found out. So once L and B is known, what is the area of the triangle? L into B. Finish. So 1 and 2, it is possible. Okay. Next, 1 and 3. Let us check these two. L by B is something, and here root of L square plus B square is available. What can be done? The same principle we can do. Instead of L, we are substituting 35 by 12 here. So L square plus B square is equal to 74 square. Okay. Then instead of L, we are substituting B. So we will get a equation of fourth order where the variable is only B. So you can very well solve the answer for B. Once B has got, then you can substitute in the first equation and find out the L. Once L and B are known, then we can straight away find out the area of the rectangle. So 1 and 3 is also possible. Here how about 2 and 3? That also we are trying. Okay. Now what is this? 2 and 3. These two. That is L square plus B square equal to 74 square. Am I right? L square plus B square is equal to 74 square. Okay. L plus B is equal to 94. Correct? L plus B is equal to 94. Y means 188 by 2 is 94. Now a plus b is there, a square plus b square is there. What formula we can apply? A plus b the whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. So 2ab is nothing but here 2lb. 2lb can be found out. What we need? L into b. So we can easily find out. Clear? So what is the answer? This is not the answer. This is not the answer. Okay. So this is the answer. 1 3, 1 2, 2 3, everything is possible. So this is going to be the final answer. So one important thing I am saying you is, once you have got in one option, please don't tick. As far as data sufficiency, you are supposed to check all the options. Check all the options, please. You can narrow it down after getting a one particular result. You can narrow it down. If something is not at all there, then you can eliminate it, but you cannot choose it by getting a one answer. Please don't choose that. Okay. Going to the next problem. How many boys are there in class? First statement, number of boys is 15 more than the number of girls. Second statement is average weight of boys is 41 kilogram and that of the girls is 32 kilogram. What we are going to do with this weight? We need only the count, right? Anyway, we will see. The third statement is average weight of all the students of the class is 37 kilogram. So whether we can find out the answer or not, there is one more option is can't be answered. So that is also there. So let us check. Please don't assume anything, as we already say. So without assuming, let us try writing the equation. That is the following a procedure. So we will follow the procedure. B plus G, that is B is equal to G plus 15. Am I right? B equal to G plus 15. Number of girls, that is number of boys is 15 more than the number of girls. So this is the first equation. Second equation is weight, that is average weight of boys is 41 kg. What can be written from that? So second equation, what is weight? That is average weight, weight of all the boys divided by the number of boys. So that is nothing but the average weight of the boys is 41, and weight of girls, total weight of girls divided by the number of girls is equal to 32. Okay, and third equation is, third statement is there is weight of boys plus weight of girls divided by number of boys plus number of girls is equal to 37. Okay, now what can be done? First 1 and 2 only. So let us check as usual. With these two, can we do anything? Number of boys, so instead of B we can write G plus 15. That is the only possible way. So with these two equations we cannot do, right? So let us check with these two. What is required? Number of boys, B is required. We are supposed to find out B finally. Okay, so in between that also we have to check. So otherwise we may be end up with what we are going to calculate. We will not come to a conclusion and we will be getting some value that will match, then we will get into the result. So please don't do that. So in each and every time in between, if you are left anywhere, please check the question again. Okay, how many boys are there in the class? Now when we combine these two, what will happen? Yeah, WB plus B, WB by B plus WG by G is equal to, we can do like that. B plus G will be there. We will be getting GWB plus BWG. It will create more complication. So let us leave that. Okay, let us try with this 3, all the 3. Why means 1 and 2 is not there, 2 and 3 is not there. The next option we are trying out. 1 and 2 or 2 and 3, even this is drop. Either this or can't be answer. We have to finalize between these two. Okay, now I am writing instead of b, wherever b is there, I am writing it as g plus 15. So here g plus 15. Okay, so wb can be written as 41g plus 41 into 15. Wg can be written as 32g. So substitute that here. Wb can be written as 41g plus 41 into 15. Okay, plus what is Wg? 32g divided by, even b I am writing it as g plus 15 plus g, which is equal to 37. Now I have got sorry, we have got only one variable g, so we can find out g from this. Once g is known, then we can substitute it here and find out the number of boys. So finally, what is the answer for us? It is all the 1, 2 and 3 are required to find out. Okay, next. Yeah, what is the profit percentage if a discount of 10% is offered on an article? Means an article is there, if they are giving 10% discount to that article or an object or a product, if 10% discount is given, then what will be their profit percentage? So that is the question. Discount is given as 10%. Okay, discount is given as 10%, which is nothing but we will get some profit, and what is that? This is my question. Now first statement is, had there been no discount offered, the profit earned on the sale of the article would be 40%. If the discount is 0%, then profit percentage is 40. If there is no discount, then profit percentage is 40. Means, what is the meaning? Selling price, what is profit percentage formula? Selling price minus cost price divided by cost price is equal to 40. That is into 100, which is equal to 40. Okay, so if discount is not there, then it is 40%. Okay, then second equation, second statement, what second statement says? So from the first statement, what we can write? Cp, if Cp is taken as X, then Sp will be, that is selling price will be 1.4x. Always selling cost price will be the base to find out the profit. Okay, then if this is the case, then profit percentages, that is 40%. From this only we have got. Okay, then second statement, the discount offered on the article is 14% of the cost price. That is whatever we have to connect with the question. If the discount is 10%, then that discount is equal to 14% of the cost price. So 10% discount means 10% on the selling price. Discount will be given only from selling price, right? So they will sell, or marked price, we will call it as marked price. So 10% of selling price, 10% of selling price, 10% means 0.1 is equal to 14% of the cost price, is equal to the 14% of the cost price. Okay, so this is one. Now Now what can be done? Third one, the cost price of the article is 1000. So cost price is 1000. Cost price is given as 1000. Now we have to select whether first alone can give you the final answer. So first alone is there. Now if this is there, then that is cost price is x, selling price is 1.5x. Then what will be the profit percentage? Means discount. If discount is 10%, what will be the profit percentage? If discount is 10%, profit percentage is 40. Then how to conclude? How to conclude? So profit percentage, what is the formula? Profit percentage is equal to SP minus CP divided by CP into 100. SP is this. So what is SP here? From the first statement, SP is, there is no discount. Okay, there is no discount, so it is 1.4x minus x is the cost price divided by x is the cost price into 100. Okay, so we will be getting 40%. Now so that is the input whatever I have got. So if a discount is 10%, if the discount is 10% from this SP, so what will be the SP then? What is SP? 0.9 into 1.4x. Am I right? If a discount is given, 0.9 into 1.4x. If this is SP, then what is the profit percentage? Sorry, this is not to be done. Now what will happen? You will get some value here as SP in terms of x, and you have CP here. CP is x. So this minus x divided by x into 100. We will get a profit percentage, correct? Even with one first statement, we can find out. This is correct. Now all 1 and 2 is not required. Each statement alone is sufficient. We have to check. None of this, no. One option we have got. So these two I am ruling out. The other two. Next we are moving with 2. Next we are moving with 2. Okay. So second statement alone. I am taking second statement alone. So 10% of the selling price is equal to 14% of the cost price. Okay. If 10% of the selling price, if I am taking 100 rupees is the cost price. If cost price is 100, right? Then what is the which is equal to this? So profit percentage can be written as, if suppose let us take it as 1000. Let us take it as 1000. I am assuming it. I am not taking the third statement. I am assuming it is 1000 rupees. If the cost price is 1000, I am sorry, selling price is 1000. I am sorry. If we are taking selling price as 1000, then after discount, what is the selling price? 900 rupees. Okay, 900 rupees. Then what will be the cost price? Cost price is nothing but 74, that is 100 into 100 divided by 14, right? 14%, since cost price is, that is 14% of the cost price. Then it will come as 714 divided by 714 into 100. So you can do this later, but this is what it is. So we can find out the price, that is profit percentage. 1 is okay, 2 is okay individually, and third alone only, that is if the cost price is 1000, what will happen? If the cost price is 1000, if a discount is 10 percentage, but selling price is not given. If we are taking third statement alone, selling price is not given, so we cannot do with this. So what is the final option? Either 1 or 2. Either 1 or 2 is the final answer. Is it clear? Hello, are you there? Anyone is there? Is it clear? Please respond to me. Is it clear? Yes? Please let me know. If you have doubt, please let me answer it. Please let me know. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all.